Hey guys, welcome to DeLuSioNaL's Arcade. So in this episode, we rented an Enterprise cab. We're hoping to grab a Final Lap 3, and also to kill two birds in one stone, we're going to grab the Arkanoid cabinet as well. So stay tuned, and we'll jump right into the video. Hey guys, welcome to another fun-filled episode here at DeLuSioNaL's Arcade. So in this episode, as you can see, we're in a van now. I rented a van. We're going to make two trips today, one in Connecticut, out in Ansonia to pick up the Final Lap 3, and the other one to pick up the Arkanoid. So without further ado, let's just jump right into this video. I'm going to keep this rolling. I actually have the sound a little better. I tweaked it a little bit, so now you guys can hear, instead of hearing the internal noise of the car, you're just going to hear my voice. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Alright guys, so we are on our way to Long Island. We're going to head out to Steve's place. We're going to pick up that Arkanoid cab. I'm going to see if we can head back here in time for dinner and a movie. Tonight's date night. So, man, I have to say, she's pretty awesome. Where you know, she allows me to kind of do my hobby, and you know, you just can't be obsessed about it. You got to do in bits and chunks. So we have assigned days where I do my editing, where I do my filming, my shooting. Today's an exception because I have a pickup where I had to rent this van and just kind of do some tie up some loose ends where I had already paid for the things, and I'm also going to give Steve his board here, and then we can go ahead and do what we got to do. You know, you got to balance the family life with your hobby, and eventually, you know, you keep trading up games, you keep flipping games, you buy broken stuff, you fix it, and then eventually you get to your dream arcade. So a lot of people ask me, like, you know, they come down to my basement, they're like, holy crap, how can you afford all this? You know, I'm like, you just gotta find the good deals. So in this case, on Craigslist a while back, I had found out that Final Lap 3, which you guys just saw, for $150. I mean, that's a great deal. I mean, it was working too, so I didn't even have to do anything. And then of course the what's the other game? The Arkanoid, which, you know, I got through, you know, BYOAC. I'm wearing the shirt now representing them. And, you know, Steve contacted me on there, and he said, hey, man, you know, I have a few games he wants to get rid of because he's moving. And I said, sure. And, you know, made a good friend while we're at it. I'm sure I'll be able to contact him in the future. Or if he has any questions for me, if he wants to mail out boards to me. I know he has some other boards that have issues. I'd love to work on that Raiden DX board. I know he's been having issues with that. But yeah, so we all help each other out. So, you know, that's the way I feel, at least, you know. And I really can't wait. I'm really planning to head out to ZapCon in April next year, in 2017. It's October now. I'm starting to plan it already. But I really want to go out there and have a great time. Because last time, you know, I was kind of new. I was trying to figure out what was going on. But now, like, I've made so many friends. Should be a really good time. So, all right. So let's go ahead and drive and get going. I'm in a van, and it is pouring outside. I picked the perfect day, of course, to do it. Normally, I don't know, I'd probably reschedule or something, but I think we're just going to pop it in both cases, right from the garage, right into the car, and it's covered. It's not like I'm bringing a pickup with straps or anything. You know, electronics can get wet for a little bit, as long as it's not pouring out like it is now. But hopefully Sky will get it out of its system, and it'll be fine when we go to pick up the game. Alright guys, so we are off. We grabbed the Final Lap 3. It's in the back. I think I might drop it off. It's just a little too wide, and I really don't want the Arkanoid and the Kicks cab to get damaged. So I think I'm going to go ahead and drop this off at the house. It was still raining. Got a little bit of rain on it. It's not a big deal. These things are pretty durable. Just really worried about the driving right now because there's slippery leaves everywhere because it is the fall. And I do not want to have this heavy machine and this van, you know, sliding where you don't want it to slide. All right, guys, check it out. I can see sun. That is a good sign. I was really not looking forward to driving in the rain out to Long Island because that's a little bit more of a drive. And we've been driving for a little bit and it looks like it cleared up. Hopefully we'll be heading away from the clouds when we head out to the island. It'd be really nice if we have a nice day. That way I can take out the camera and film some more once I'm at Steve's house when I'm grabbing the Arkanoid. But yeah, maybe today will turn out to be a really good day after all. So let's go ahead and get this thing back to the house. We'll kind of open the back, take a quick peek at it, and then we'll see if we can load it in the basement. All right, we are here. Let's go ahead and unload this baby. So now the weather cleared up a little bit. I just wanted to give you a quick look at this. Let me turn on my light. I don't think it matters. It's pretty bright in here. So this is it. It's the final lap cab. You can see it has a very minor burn-in. It's from the game itself. It's a Namco game. Final lap 3. It's in decent shape. Steering wheel has a shift knob. Works great. Coin mix I'm probably going to swap out with some other graphics. I put the key in there, that way it wouldn't flop around. I actually have the other one in my pocket now. We can go ahead and install that if you want. You can see here that it's all the same key. I'm going to go ahead and just take that apart. And then, and you don't need, because this isn't a wood application, I'm actually going to take this part off here. It's going right onto the metal door. Take that off, and this part here, you can see it has these little things that dig in the wood. That part I'm just keeping off because I don't really need it. See, basically it only goes in one way. There we go. There we go. And let me just put this on right here. There we go. Nice. Alright, so I got that on. I'm just going to give it a quick little tightening here. I'm not putting it in super crazy tight. I think actually, did I do that right? Yeah, that's locked, and that's okay. So yeah, so the reason it's turning is because it's just turning the key. Just being careful not to scratch it. Alright, that's good enough. So that allows me to kind of just, you know, be able to turn it, and so it won't pop open there. And I put that one on, so we're good. I can go ahead and put this in my pocket. And that's it. So this is the cab. You can see the sides over here. It's pretty decent shape. There it is over here. That's the side. We're gonna grab it, take it out. I'm just getting a buddy of mine to come over. He's gonna help me bring it inside the house. Just waiting for him to get here, and then I can go ahead and pick up the other cabinet. Alright guys, so we're back. Placed it down in the basement. It actually was really easy to do. I just kind of have carpeted stairs, so it easily slides on its back. So it was pretty easy to do. I had a buddy help me do that, and now we're just gonna get some gameplay in here. See if I can put this up there. Now, a quick disclaimer: I'm not really good at this game. I'm just testing it out. But as you can see, it really is. I mean, this thing is crisp as a button here. So let's go ahead and press the pedal. Let's choose England. That's one of the easier tracks. Takes a little getting used to. I'm used to like a pole position where you can just whip on the wheel, but this one's a little different. It's a Namco game, not by Atari or anything. Really cool, man. Can't beat it for 150 bucks. not too good at this game, which is good. I can learn it, have some fun. So I haven't played around with the settings at all in the game. I'm sure you can set it to free play, and right now it's not set to free play. You have to hit a test button inside. That gives you credits, and also difficulty and all that stuff. So I'll have to read up on that and see how it goes. But overall, I'm really, I think this will get a lot of play compared to the Thunderblade. I never played that game. I played it every now and then at first, and then the novelty kind of wore off. Out of the two games, I actually prefer Afterburner over the Thunderblade, but definitely wanted a driving cab, so this is a step in the right direction. Ultimately, I'd probably want an outrun cab. I actually had an opportunity to get one of those years ago. I should have jumped on it. But yeah, man, it works great. And my time just ran out. So let's go ahead and let's keep this continuous here. I'm just gonna pop this off. So basically, look, this is it. I mean, the side art is in decent shape. I mean, there are scratches and dings here and there, but you know, it has a character. Excuse me, it has some character, which is good. You can see it's kind of worn down there if I were to zoom in on the pedal. But you know, that's typical. I'm not even going to bother replacing that. But if you wanted to, I guess you can remove that and just spray paint it. Get it in the shape you want. The coin doors, they're in decent shape. The mechanisms there, I'm just going to replace them with the official ones that have, like, you know, 25 cents that look really nice, like on the typical over-under doors. But overall, I mean, I put those keys right in. Which is the first thing I did to keep it closed. And I'm just not even going to repaint them. I think it's in pretty nice shape. The kick plate's in nice shape. The steering wheel looks like it's missing the logo. I have to do my research on that. This is functioning fine. You can hear it. I love how it clicks. I mean, not really sure if it's supposed to do that, but I kind of like it. And then, you know, the marquee. It's in nice shape. The bezel. You know, it's pretty simple. And it works. You know, I can't really see the artwork on this side, but you can see that there's a huge gouge, like right here. I guess you can color match the paint just to make it less noticeable there. And there's, you know, people where typical people just kind of, you know, hang on to it and peel it and stuff when they're playing. There's another one over here. You know, the other side is definitely better. So I think I'm just going to leave it as is. It is a working game for 150 bucks. I mean, I can't ask for anything better. And what I might do is just make sure that this side is facing outward if I decide to put it somewhere, so that, you know, you won't see the other side, or I'll just keep it like it is, where I have it against another machine. You can't really tell. But man, 25-inch monitor alone, yeah, that's at least 100 bucks right there. Especially the shape that it's in, that it works. So very happy with this purchase. I'm glad that the Thunderblade was traded in and this took its place for now. So let's go ahead. We're gonna go back outside. We're gonna get back in the van, and we're gonna go ahead and pick up that Arkanoid game. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Alright guys, so we're here. So I'm gonna head out, and we're at Steve's house. We're gonna grab my Arkanoid.
I'm busy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So this is it. Taito cab, we can finally stick in there. Alright guys, so we're back. We have the Arkanoid in the back, and I decided I'm going to buy a Rampage as well. We have the room. Steve gave me an offer I couldn't refuse, so here we are at his storage. We're just going to pop it in there and then head home. So we'll see you in a little bit. Alright guys, so here it is. Here's the Arkanoid cab. I actually removed the bracket here because I wanted to, after I turned it on, I wanted to change the light bulb. I figured there was a starter that was bad and I have some spares, and it turns out, I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Let me take this off actually, it's just easier. Yeah, this has the, I guess the original marquee in there. I never realized was the bulbs. So they have individual bulbs. I thought that was pretty cool. So instead of a fluorescent light, it has light bulbs. So this glass here, Steve was telling me, and we actually realized when we were moving it, that it's not really the correct size for this cabinet. So I guess the original one must have broken and then somebody just replaced it. So it doesn't really fit correctly in here. So I'm going to go ahead, and you can see here, like on the side, it doesn't really fit in. It's kind of just wedged in there on that side and wedged in there over there. So it doesn't have the original stuff. So this is really meant to be a kicks cab. That was originally what was in here. You can tell because the side, the Taito is gray, and if you look it up online, it is gray. But it's in pretty decent shape. You can see there's just like scratches here and there. I don't know if this can be touched up or not, or if it doesn't even pay to save it and maybe just put make it into a zookeeper or something. I'm not really sure. But anyway, this is my buddy Thomas's cab. I'm actually going to, I picked it up for him, and I'm going to be holding it for a while until I can make it down to Maryland, and then I'll just pass by his house. He lives in Delaware on the way. So for now, I'm just going to keep it for him. It does work, and it does look like it has the bootleg Arkanoid in there. I thought it was the original at first, but it does have the bootleg version, which I think is really more interesting. It's more colorful. This one here has the American flag, and there's other boards. You could tell because when you start it, the ship normally is blue, and on this one it's red, and then it turns blue after, kind of flashes. Also the board is different. Yeah, it starts out with this. It starts out actually kind of hard. The original one starts differently. Actually, you know what? Let me see if I can turn it on. Hang on a second. Yeah, so basically you can see when it starts, let's go ahead and just start one player. See, it starts with the blue ship as opposed to the red one. Now that one turns red, so it turns the opposite, it looks like. And then the first board is the classic board, which is a little easier. Doesn't have the silver bricks on there. So it is the original version. You can see I'm playing it now. So right off the bat, I can just tell on my version over here, my spinner, it moves really freely, and it's really loose and nice and almost new. And in this other version over here, it's a little harder to move. It's not as free, and it probably just has to be lubed up. So I guess I'll take a look at that. Again, it's not my cabinet, so I was going to try to leave it untouched because it's really fun to restore stuff, and I don't want to take away the fun from my buddy. So, still, it's in pretty decent shape. You can see it has some paint. Not sure if that was painted over after, if you can use a magic eraser to kind of get rid of it, or if you just want to, I don't know if he wants to re-stencil it and redo the whole thing, or just touch it up just where the gray is. I would probably, if this were mine, just color match everything to this color. This is super, super filthy. Still needs to be cleaned. But then he should really take, maybe this one is probably a better example there. Take gray from there, color match it, and then fill that in on the side. So, but it is a really cool pickup. Let me go ahead and put this on the side because I took off the marquee. Now I'm going to go ahead and put it back. It actually just lays flat right on there like that. There we go. And it stays in there pretty good. And then the bracket would go underneath. Alright, so here we go. So I'm going to put a quarter in. It has actually a credit button on front. And then player one. So again, you see it's red, and then it flashes to blue and back and forth. And the monitor probably needs to be recapped. I haven't tried adjusting anything. And then, You can see it starts on a hard board, but you have to hit them twice in order to get rid of them. I noticed this also had, it was set to 5 men. I don't know if that's default for the bootleg board or not, but mine's set for the 3, which is what I remember in the arcade. So I left mine that way. There we go. Just waiting for a power up. See if I can get to the next board. There it is. There we go. So I just went inside. Alright, so you can see right off the bat, this one I believe is the bootleg. I don't remember this in the original version. I don't think there's any dip switches to change anything. Oh, that was a big turn there. Arkanoid is such a good game. It's like Breakout on steroids. I really love this game. And I actually thought of the idea of maybe getting rid of the cocktail and keeping this one, but then since Tom wanted it, I was like, you know what, I'll just give it to him. It's not a big deal. He was kind of unsure of it at the beginning. I just got a free. Now I have, I'm back to 5 men. So he wasn't sure at the beginning, and then what ended up happening was my buddy bought 2 of his monitors. We kind of created a package deal altogether, and then he got it at a really cheap price for what he wanted to pay for it. And you know, I looked at it. It does need some work. I mean, all cabinets do. I mean, they're old, but this one seemed to be good. There was really no mortar damage or anything on the bottom. It's in nice shape. The artwork could be painted and touched up. I don't think he needs to re-stencil. That's if he wants to keep it the original Kicks gray. Or if he wanted to, I guess he can always, you know, I don't think he's as big of a Zookeeper fan as I am, but I would totally raise the value, and also, you know, they're rare to find Zookeeper cabs. I would probably, since the artwork's so far gone and needs some bondoing on the side, I would probably just make it an original Zookeeper cab. I don't know if I'd stick an original Zookeeper board in there, because they're really hard to maintain, but I would probably put the Zook board in there. But you know, I do have that Cabaret that I want to convert. Someone was telling me that was a poker machine that somebody converted to an arcade machine. Not really sure. So here it is. This is the, is it 3rd board already? And it's super hard. It has the gold bars, which are really hard. You can't destroy them. So this is definitely meant to kind of eat your quarters. Oops, I missed one. Let's try again. There we go. Whoop. But it is fun. I'm used to the other boards, so who knows? Maybe I'll trade boards with him if he wants to do that. But definitely the originals are worth more because this game was bootlegged so much. It's very common. It's hard to find an original. Almost gonna beat the high score. Oh, look at that. The laser again. And I missed it. It's either that or dying, so I chose not to die. Yeah, those are gold. It's hard to tell with the monitor. Definitely needs some adjustments. Can't tell if it's yellow or gold, because it's kind of blurry. By the way, guys, I was messing around with Zookeeper. I usually play a game or two just to get in the mood to make a video here, and I hit 1 million. It's pretty common now. So that's good. I'm going to start getting better at that game. Hopefully I can get 3 or 4 million eventually. And this game does not store high scores. Once you turn it off, it's gone. So there's no, as far as I know, there are no high score saves for the Arkanoid. I'm not really sure about the bootleg. I'm assuming it's the same architecture, so I would say no. But I did get the high score. That's cool. Yep, so that's it. So this is the other pickup. And we're going to head upstairs because I have the third pickup that I got there. And we'll come back down to the basement. Alright guys, so here it is. This is the one that I picked up. It was a last minute thing. Steve had it in his storage and he gave me an offer I couldn't refuse for the arcade, so arcade machine Rampage. So I decided to pop on it. I mean, it does have a nice CP. It's can really be cleaned up with a magic eraser. It's just very dirty because it was in storage. The original joysticks work. I believe these are Monroe joysticks. They're all working. The buttons are working. They're all leaf buttons. This is in really nice shape. The bezel is just really cool. It does have severe burn-in. You can see it says game over there. And that's, you know, from the thing. It does work. You turn it on. It does have some graphical glitches. I'm not sure if that's because, you know, it was moved and I have to reconnect the connections. It does light up on the top. The marquee does light up. The coin door, I believe, is original to this machine. It's a Bally Midway door. And, it, you know, you put it in through the top there. The side, it's in pretty decent shape. You know, it could be touched up. This is one of the easier cabs to touch up because everything, you know, has straight lines. So you can just mask it off if you needed to and then kind of spray it down. Or, you know, paint it with a roller. So it does have some, not really deep gouges, they're just scratches. This one here is a little deep. I mean, you can always try to bondle that and smooth it out and feather it out. The only hard part would be, I guess, the Bally Midway decal here. I mean, the stencil. But, you know, with careful painting, I'm sure you could do something by hand. But it is in really nice shape, considering its age, you know. And then on the bottom here, of course, it's very common with these cabinets. They were always knocked off over here or broken. That's the... you know, the corner, because they were super heavy cabinets. This cabinet weighed a ton. That's why I didn't bring it downstairs, because Rampage wasn't really a game I wanted too much. I'm not really a fan of the game. I played it a little bit as a kid, but it gets very repetitive. I actually prefer the newer one that they came out with later. Also, this side over here, you can see it's a little, looks like it rubbed up on stuff. And this one's going to be a little harder, you know, the vinyl's coming off to restore, and it has scratches here, and this one here is pretty deep. So, you know, to the right person, I mean, they can restore it. You know, some people won't even notice. You just kind of slide it in between games, and you won't even notice the sides are a little messed up. But this one also on the bottom here has the same issue, where it's, you know, it's falling apart. Because, you know, the edges or whatever, it got dragged. So it almost looked like someone tilted it forward and just dragged it. Took the edges off. So, but the front is in decent shape. I mean, I opened it up here. Let's go ahead and lift it here. I believe I had taken it out. There we go. You know, it is just really dirty because it was in storage. But you could see, you know, the original joysticks here are in nice condition. The Monroe joysticks, the leaf switches. I think they use Monroe on Time Pilot too. I'm not really positive, but it's really smooth feeling. They probably did on Time Pilot. And you know, it has the original mechanism here for the coin, which you can kind of lift up, and then the bucket's in there, and it really is a gargantuan cab. And then of course the CP holds this in right here. So it does turn on. I'm just not going to turn it on now. You know, it doesn't have sound, actually. The sound, here I have it on top of my jukebox here, but basically it came with 2 additional sound cards and then the amp. So I'm sure someone was trying to swap it out and figure it out and they couldn't, so. But it's cool that it comes with that. So most likely I'm just gonna throw it on Craigslist. And you know, I'm just trying to help him out because he's really trying to get rid of his cabinets. You know, he doesn't really have time to list them, and he just wants to get rid of them from because he's moving. So I'm probably going to list this for the same price I paid for it. Maybe a little tiny bit more just to cover my gas and stuff, but yeah, I think it's a deal. I think it's a great project cab, especially for someone who really likes Rampage. I'm not sure if these cabinets are rare. I don't really see them that much. I mean, I see the originals in, like, you know, arcades and stuff, but I don't see collectors really having this in their collection. So we'll see what happens with that. I'm definitely want to sell it as a whole. I don't want to part it out. You know, I thought about maybe, because the CP is in really nice shape with the joysticks, and so was this. Maybe I would take, you know, the marquee, the bezel, and the control panel, but I really want to keep it intact. I mean, you know, it's neat how all the original stuff was inside. I mean, the wire harnesses are uncut. You know, it's in really, really nice shape inside. So we'll see. Maybe if I get some time, I will repair it before I decide to, you know, sell it. You know, maybe I'll make a little bit of profit on it. I'm not sure what I want to do with it. All I know is I really don't have much time with this because this is sitting, it's sitting in the middle of my living room. So this is my living room. That's the outside to go out, and you know, I have my bar right here on the left. So yeah, definitely don't want to have it here too long. So, and I have my moving blanket on. I want to scratch the floor. But yeah, guys, there it is. That was my bonus pickup. I had the van, so I picked it up while I was at it. Mainly, I was just going to get the Arkanoid that was out there, and of course the Final Lap 3, which you see downstairs. So that about does it in this episode. So don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, pass it on to your friends, and of course, you know, hit me up in Twitter. I'm at Del's Arcade. That's at DELS Arcade. And, you know, I usually answer people on there or just post what I'm doing. So, all right, guys. So without further ado, let me go ahead and end this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.